Okay everyone, it's 26 Bond, Rob here with another look at my Iron Maiden vinyl collection. Today what we're going to be doing today is something a little bit different. I've usually been, on my last few videos, been showing you some latest finds. So stuff that I've been hunting for, got from eBay, as well as delving back into my Maiden collection, showing you what stuff I've had for a number of years. Today we're going to be looking at a certain country's pressings, and we're going to be looking at one of the more exciting and interesting countries to collect if you're a Maiden vinyl collector, or CD, or anything really. This country always do things a little bit special. The country I'm talking about today is Japan, and this is my Iron Maiden collection of 12-inch singles, 7-inch singles and 12-inch vinyl LPs. So the main reason Japan has been a little bit more, their releases have been a little bit more interesting, was to encourage the Japanese market themselves to buy Japanese product. I believe that they were a lot more expensive, believe it or not, than imports. So they included things like extras like posters, more artwork, better, higher quality of vinyl pressing as well, to encourage the Japanese people to buy their own product. So today I'm going to start off by showing you, actually it's one of my latest finds. This is my Rothschild back with Genghis Khan 7-inch single. Now currently this is the only Japanese 7-inch I own, but I'm on the hunt for the others. Just to show you that there, nice green Toshiba EMI bag. All the Jap singles, they're not complete sleeves, they're insert sheets. Usually on the back they'll have the lyrics and so on, the translation in Japan and also the English lyrics. And sometimes you can find some rather funny translations as well. They don't quite get the Western meaning of some of the words, and some of the time you get some quite hilarious consequences. But that's the vinyl. It's in excellent condition, this one, as you can see. Great shine to it, and just a lovely piece, which I got from a trader friend of mine on the Iron Maiden official forum. So there's that. That's Rothschild. Next release I want to show you is, this is a 12-inch single. This is running free, from 1985, taken from the Live After Death album. The back of that's with Sanctuary and Murders in the Rue Morgue. This is part of the Hard Attack 85 series. I'll show you inside. Here's the vinyl. So it comes they always come with these sort of poly sleeves. Inside too, nice sort of beige labels there. And as all Japanese releases do have, apart from Obi's sashes on the front, which are very nice to look at, they also come with these insert sheets as well, which feature, in this case, the lyrics, and it's got some graphics down on the bottom for the Iron Maiden LPs released up until then, and the singles, and it showcases, as you can see there, Live After Death, the new release. So that's a very nice piece. Not too hard to get hold of, this one. This is one of the more common Japanese releases which you'll find, but it's a lovely one. And one of the very few sleeves that Maiden ever did without Eddie on sleeve. This is a classic one. This is Aces High. Once again part of the 85 Hard Attack series. It's almost like an EP, this one, with Cross-Eyed Mary, Rainbow's Gold, King of Twilight, and the Number of the Beast, as well as Aces High. So really good value, this one. Plenty of tracks on there. This one again is in an amazing condition. The vinyl, very much similar to the last one I showed you, with that beige Toshiba EMI sleeve, label I should say. And once again it does have an insert, this one as well. These are the bits which tend to go missing. So always look out, if you're going to get a Japanese release, make sure you get the insert sheets. So it's got like a little biography, I think, by Masa Ito, who's a Japanese journalist. Actually, no, this one's by Ko Sakai from Music, Life and Burn magazine. And it's got the lyric, and once again it's got the illustrations of the albums down below. So that's Aces High. A little bit harder to get hold of this one. I won't give values for these because you can pick these up with a multitude of price tags attached to them. But sometimes with these Japanese releases, depending on condition, you have to pay a little bit more because they're very beautiful. Now this is my favourite 12-inch. This is Stranger in a Strange Land, and this one came with all sorts of extras. This was released in Japan to promote the Somewhere on Tour 87 Japanese dates. Once again with a lovely obi. This is a maxi single. A number of songs on there again. So you've got Reach Out, Lost for Words, Big Horror from Powerslave and Sheriff of Huddersfield, as well as Juanita and the title track Stranger in a Strange Land. Now Sheriff of Huddersfield is a very, very amusing song written about their manager Rod Smallwood, and if you've never heard it, try and get a copy. But there's the labels. Standard Somewhere in Time labels, or are they? Because if you get the vinyl out, you can see around the edges is text, so Somewhere on Tour 87, and that's round both sides of the vinyl. There you go, it's coming up quite well now. Look at that. It's amazing, isn't it? Laser etched outer rim, both sides of the vinyl. Now that is a little bit special. So if you're a Maiden collector like me, that is certainly one piece I couldn't pass up. Now the important thing with this release, because I've seen this at many record fairs without this, it does include this. This is not the piece I was talking about. It includes the lyrics, and there's a biography again, pretty much the same one as last time, by the same guy from Burn magazine. But the real important thing to watch out for with this one is to make sure that you get this, and it's a beautiful poster promoting the Japanese tour. So there you go. So Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time, 1987, and as you can see there, it has all the tour dates and what venues they were playing in Japan. So this is the thing which tends to be missing in a lot of them, and it's a beautiful design. There you go, classic Derek Riggs. So once again, if you get the chance to purchase this single, it's very important, I think, with Jap releases to make sure, and I'm really hard on myself with this, but just to make sure that they are complete. And there's only one Japanese album in my collection which isn't complete, and it bugs the hell out of me, and I'm probably going to buy another one just to say that it is complete, because it's one of those things which it's a little bit OCD of me, but if I know something isn't 100% there, you know what it's like. Oops. Okay, now we're going to move over to LPs, and we're going to go all the way through. So from the very beginning, we had this. The original painting was called Electric Matthew. Say hello, Electric Matthew. Which was originally a artwork that Derek Riggs did of this character here, which originally was called Electric Matthew, and Iron Maiden liked it. They saw it in his portfolio, wanted it for their album cover, and asked him to add more hair to it. So that was really the birth of Eddie, as he is obviously more widely known. Now this is the Japanese release from 1980 on Toshiba EMI. Catalogue number EMS 81327. It's got a really nice sort of silver obi on it there. A nice heavyweight sleeve, a little bit like the American Capitol sleeves. Sometimes the European sleeves are a bit flimsy cardboard. The Japanese and the American, and also the Canadian ones as well, tend to be of a higher stock card. So there you go. This is the insert. Really nice sort of monochrome washed out photo picture of the cover, minus the logo of course. The back of that has all the words and scary Eddie eyes, but it's also a fold out. So it's got, if you're a Japanese consumer, a lot of info about the band there, and also over here you've got the lyrics, which are in English and Japanese as well. So a superb package, this one. This one is in mint condition. This one has hardly been played. I'll show you the vinyl. Oops, here you go. Yeah, this one is as good as it gets, really. Look at that. It's just beautiful. So that one is a really good one, perhaps, to start your Japanese Maiden collection off. This one doesn't tend to be one of the more expensive ones, which is sometimes strange for a debut release because, you know, it's the oldest Jap release. Maybe it's the hardest to find. Well, not in this case. This one, I think I picked this one up for about £25 from eBay. I think one of the reasons why it tends to be a little bit less expensive than some of the others is because it doesn't have the extras that a lot of the later Japanese releases do have. Posters, stickers and stuff like that. So there's Maiden's debut album, Iron Maiden. Now the next release that they did was this one. Live Plus One, which was a live album which was recorded at the Marquee. Now this was only released, I believe, in the Japanese and Greek markets. Now this one, as you can see at the top, has got a little white sticker. Now a lot of you, sorry I can't hold it too still, but a lot of you Japanese Maiden collectors will know that that is a promo sticker. And that is also on the back there. As you see, if you see any of those Japanese characters, that means it's a promo. But there's the back cover. One of the real discerning marks of a Japanese promo is the actual record label. Now this was issued on the standard version. This would have had the same label as the Iron Maiden album. But this one is a mint condition white label promo. So it's got those Japanese characters again on the right hand side. So this one, I actually got this from eBay a number of years ago and it wasn't listed as a white label. I don't think the guy selling it realised what it was exactly. So I think I paid about a tenner for this, and it's a white label promo. And I've seen these go on eBay for between £100 and £175. This one is A1 mint condition. It does include the insert, and it's got a really nice sort of women in uniform backdrop to it with the lyrics superimposed plus the releases. So that one, if you want to get the standard copy, is quite easy to find. If you want to get white label promo copy like I've got here, you might have to hunt a little bit harder, maybe pay a little bit more money. Hopefully you can be as fortunate as me, but I think that's really one of those once in a lifetime bits of luck you sometimes get when you collect a band, and I think I used all my lives out with this. So Live Plus One, awesome Maiden, bloody brilliant, love that release, it's fantastic. Now the next studio album they did was Killers, which I own here. This is a fantastic package, this one. Great Obi. And this was the first album where they started doing little extras like posters. Serial number EMS91016. I'll show you the vinyl. So it's very similar to Iron Maiden. They use the same logos. Once again, this is a mint condition copy. There you go. As good as it gets. It's almost mint unplayed. I've never played this since I've owned it. I've got so many pressings of Killers. I tend to want to keep this one as almost like a vault copy, which is, you know, some people say, oh, that's daft because it's like probably the best pressing of it you own or you're ever going to own, but you know what us record collectors are like sometimes. Okay, so in terms of extras, you've got the insert sheet again, which is a really cool sort of closer picture of Eddie's head, plus there's Killers and Iron Maiden. A couple of pictures of Adrian and Dave on the back with the lyrics in Japanese and English. A nice picture of the band in the centre as well, with a bio, bits and bobs and things like that. But the real piece de la resistance of the package is the poster, which I believe is the same picture as the Wrathchild single. Now these are quite big, so there you go, there it is there. So that's the poster which you get in the LP. So as you can see, they're massive and they're really, really nice. So, you know, if you're on the hunt for this particular record, try and get it with the poster. Now, the poster puts it up a lot in terms of cost. That's the only thing. But as I say, it's one of those things. If you're a hardcore Maiden collector, you sort of want the whole package. I think if I bought that album and it didn't have the poster, it would I'd be wrangling for it. So that's a lovely package. So that's Killers. Once again, Toshiba EMI, brilliant hardcover pressing as well. And this is the album which annoys me because it's not a complete Japanese album. What's missing, guys, on the front? Yeah, it's missing the Obi. There's one on eBay at the minute for £25. So if anyone would like this copy, it's pretty much mint condition. It's a 4-track. There you go. PM me and I'll happily do you a deal on this one for not a lot of Wonga, because it doesn't have the Obi, and hopefully I'll be able to replace that with the one which does. As you can see with the vinyl, there you go. Once again, it's mint. Absolutely fantastic condition. I think it's got, actually, to be fair, I've just noticed this one's got a slight, and I'll show you this if you're interested in this one. I don't like selling things and getting gradings wrong, but as you can see, it's got there a very small seam split in the spine. As I say, apart from that, it's great. It's got the insert as well. There you go. So if anyone's interested in that one, make me an offer. In fact, I'll do it for £15. That one, £15. If you're in the UK, I'll do postage for £2 as well. So £17 in the UK. If you're for overseas, I'll do it for, I don't know, £18. There you go. Let me know. Okay, the next one, and actually this is a second edition pressing of the Number of the Beast on Japanese vinyl. First pressings will have an extra bit up there, and it will have a poster. So this one doesn't have the poster, but I've learnt this week it is a second pressing copy, and it didn't come with a poster. So as a second pressing, this is a complete second pressing. So I was really quite pleased to learn that. Interesting design on the back. It's got all the Maiden albums. Once again, you've got the obligatory heavy vinyl pressing. You've got the insert sheet here, so it's a little bit like the inner bag to all the other pressings, but it's not to fit the vinyl in, it's basically a little pull-out booklet. There you go, there's that there. And the vinyl's really, really nice. It's got new labels for the first time. EMI decided to put new labels on this one. So, like the other pressings, you've got that awesome Eddie design by Derek Riggs, and on the back, striking Eddie under the street lamp with a nice red, blood red Iron Maiden logo. There you go. Once again, in terms of quality of the vinyl, this one, well, it's flawless. You know, sometimes you look at vinyl and think, oh, it looks really good. You look a bit closer and you start picking up little hairlines and things, but all the Japanese vinyl that I'm going to show you today is flawless. So I'm really, really happy about that. So that's Number of the Beast. I'm in the market for a first pressing of this with poster. So if anyone has one for sale, would like to trade with me for something, maybe you'd like to trade that Made in Japan plus some money, let me know. Okay, the next one was Peace of Mind. Peace of Mind. This is the first pressing of Peace of Mind. That's the back cover. And once again, like all Maiden releases, really, around this era, it comes with exciting inserts. So, this is the insert there, the booklet. So it's a bit like the inner gatefold design of the European release. Lyric and translations there, plus some nice graphics. And this one has the standard Peace of Mind label. There you go. So it's got the brain and the carrots and everything like that. Once again, it's absolutely mint condition. You might notice me being really careful with these vinyls, because on some of my videos that I've done, I have accidents and I drop them. And as you all know, as a huge Maiden fan, if I'm going to drop an album, at least let it be something I don't particularly like Monster by Kiss, which is probably the worst thing I've heard in years. Awful. Right, poster time. This is the poster, which is the back cover to Flight of Icarus, I think, this one. So there you go, it's Maiden on the stairs. Now the photo session, this was all part of the photo session which Maiden did for the other picture I've shown you, where they're sat at the dinner table. It was actually recorded in Jersey, this album, and they found this very old home on Jersey, and they managed to do the photo session in there. And it's a very sort of it's a very old house and had a lot of history to it, so it was ideal really to do the photo session there, hence that's why they did it. God, full of a mine of useless information, aren't they? So there you go, that's Peace of Mind, Japanese. The pressing number on this one is EMS 91057. This is my newest one, which I've shown on a video quite recently, so I won't talk about this as much. This is Powerslave, absolutely beautiful. EMS 91091, first pressing. I'm going to show it to you again because it's one of my favourite pieces of my Maiden collection. It's mint. It's mint condition. I love it. I get emotional just feeling this album because it's, it's one of them. There you go. So that's the standard European in a bag. But it's a it's a fold-out, booklet. There you go, with the lyrics, with all the translations. There's obviously a pattern to all these releases. They're all pretty similar, but it's always good to have a video. I think there's no real videos just on Japanese Maidens. I think this is the first one on YouTube, so I hope these videos are useful for you collectors out there who maybe haven't got a huge amount of Jap vinyl and like to know what you should be getting in there. Hopefully this will help. This is the poster for Powerslave. So there you go, once again another huge poster. This is the stuff to look out for, as I've said before, for killers. If there's many of these for sale on eBay, but not a lot of money, but they're all without the poster. And if they haven't got the poster, you haven't got the full package. And if that will bother you, like it will bother me, you're better off waiting to get a good deal. Having said that, on some of these ones, this one's quite a costly album. As is Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, which I'll show you soon, because there's various versions of these. There's obviously first and second pressings. The firsts always have the posters. There might be a few which second pressings which have the posters as well, but generally speaking, if it's a first pressing, it will have a poster. If it's a second pressing or a consecutive pressing to that, it probably won't, but they always have the inner sleeves and the inserts. So that is Powerslave, which I'm struggling to get in, so I'm going to put that there just for the minute. Okay, it was a live album next in Maiden's history, and it was Live After Death. And here you go. What a package this is. Look at this beast. Look at that Obi sash on the side. Look at the colours of it. Matches the front cover absolutely perfectly. I'll open it up for you guys. Here you go. So that's the other side of the Obi. Now this one was actually crying out for a poster, but what they did at Maiden is they didn't need to do a poster. It's got the insert sheet, which has minimal info, that one, obviously because it's a live album, but it includes the booklet, which is standard on all the releases. One thing to look out for though, make sure that your booklet has the correct serial number for the pressing, because I know there's lots of eBay sellers out there which find a booklet and chuck it in a release, like a Greek release or a American release. That is the only way of knowing if this booklet is the actual Japanese booklet. It will say the same catalogue number to the vinyl, so that's worth considering. So yeah, so it's got the booklet. I'll show you one of the vinyls. It's mint condition. There you go. So it's pretty standard to the other releases from various countries. Let me just put that back in. And what it also includes as well, various pressings had the inner bags, didn't they? So what I've done, they are in here, but they're completely empty. Both of them are in here. I'll just show you one because there isn't a lot of variation. So it's a superb release, and I've played this, and my God, it sounds good. It sounds brilliant. So if you're in the market for a live album, as we know, Live After Death in terms of metal live albums is the creme de la creme. There's none better. Okay, last two now. This is one of my favourite releases. This is a first pressing of Somewhere in Time from 1986. That's the back. Now the second pressings had a slightly narrower obi sash, so it wasn't as thick as that. And this one's thick because it's telling you at the top what you get inside this package. And I'm going to show you now what is inside this package. First off, you've got the inner info sheet with lyrics, Japanese translations and Japanese information. Pick that one up. State. Then inside here, I'll get it all out. Here are we. This is one of the better releases by the band ever, because it included this, which was a 7-inch on their own words. So first pressings all include this. Now people sell this for 50 quid on its own, which I think is terrible. But this is actually like a promo single, which was released with the album. There you go. And it's basically every member of the band giving themselves, talking about themselves, giving a bit of information to the Japanese market. This is the bit that's always missing. The blue Iron Maiden sticker. This is the best bit. It's not the sleeve, it's a booklet, which opens up. It's a photo booklet, which opens up. It's a brilliant package. This is the creme de la creme of Japanese Maiden releases. It's just special. This is mint condition. Absolutely mint condition. There you go. There's that. Then we have the vinyl, which again is in mint condition. And like a lot of their releases, as I say, you've got the obligatory poster once again. Nice Shorts Bruce. There you go. Somewhere in Time, Iron Maiden. There you have it. So, I mean, that's you can see that release really had a lot of effort put into it by the band. So yeah, that's definitely one to try and get in your collection. When I saw that for the first time, as a Maiden collector, it makes you a bit weak at the knees because, you know, in terms of packaging, you're probably not going to find an album that's better packaged than that one. So, fabulous. Try and get that one in your collection. Now, I'll put all that away later because I don't want to damage it all. Now, this is Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. There you go. Pretty good condition. Not as good condition, this one. It's probably the worst condition. I'd say this is a very good plus. There are some bend marks on this one. Maybe a bit more than that. I'd say excellent minus very good plus. Obi's got a slight tear in it. Nothing major. It's got the inner sleeve. which obviously folds out. There's the pattern forming again, guys. There you go. All the lyric details and things like that. You've got the vinyl there, which I shall show you. But the real thing to make sure you have is these first pressing stickers. Okay, with various bits of info on Iron Maiden logos, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, Can I Play With Madness? Now these are the original stickers, and these is always what goes missing. So if you want to buy a copy of this, make sure, if you want a complete one, that they're in there. Here's the vinyl. The vinyl is, I mean, that's never been played. Never been played. So it's a standard sort of labels. So there you go. So that concludes, currently, that's all the Japanese Maiden stuff I've got. Now I've got one more piece coming today, I think, which I'll be excited to get, which is it's a bootleg release. So I'll show you that on my next Maiden update, which will be very, very soon, I hope, guys. I hope you found the video interesting. It's been great for me getting all the vinyl out and having a look at it, because the pieces are so beautiful. Sometimes it's just nice to not necessarily play it, but get it out and have a look at it again, because these pieces, you know, they're not just to go on the shelves, they are to be enjoyed, they are to be collected, they're real collector's items, and they're just beautiful releases. So it's been a pleasure talking to you all today. Look out for the new Maiden update, which will be here in the next week or so. So everyone, stay well, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.